And has he paid?
He's just paid. He's paid and I've just got the money into my account.
So money in your bank. How much money?
8,750.
8,750. £8,750. Cha-ching. Okay, next property, next student. We're down here meeting one of my students who's in a buy, refurbished, refinance business. He's also in the service accommodation business, and I'm here today to look at one of his current buy, refurbished, refinance deals. This deal is in Portsmouth. He's doing all the work himself, and it is actually looking pretty awesome. Let's go inside and have a look. Oh, okay, front room is massive. How much did you buy this house for?
So we bought this one for 170,000.
170, it's in Portsmouth.
Yeah.
Great location.
Yeah, it's central. It's a really good location for buy-to-let, even for SA really.
What's your exit on it? What do you think you're going to do with it? You're going to do it as buy-to-let or as a service accommodation?
We've got 3 exit routes.
Right.
We could sell it. It would work well as a flip, buy-to-let, or remortgage to an SA as well.
If you were to sell it, what would you sell it for?
I think anywhere upwards of 260 at the moment.
Awesome.
Just depending on the final finish.
It's interesting because as we're driving down, there's quite a few houses on the street. Look like they're getting. I mean, just over there you can see there's a load of scaffolding at the side of that house over there, and there's other houses on the street that are getting refurb as well. So this has got a huge front room. Like it's ridiculously big. This must be 30 feet. This must be 30 plus feet. Like,
it was an off-route. It used to have it. Originally there was a door there.
Okay.
Time ago. Even when we bought it, there were dropped ceilings throughout, so we've taken all the ceilings out, stripped it right back, and we've re-skimmed partly, so half the room's been re-skimmed.
Okay, so half the room's been re-skimmed. What have you had to do in this room? Just take the ceilings away, re-skim part of it, and paint and decorate.
So yeah, originally over there was a fireplace as well, which has been removed. So we've had to try and patch in some of the coving over there, and above the doors there were it was just open to the block work basically.
Right.
So,
okay.
Yeah, just a lot of repair work, and in decorating. It needs a little bit more finessing.
Yeah.
And then.
Are you doing the work, or I know you're getting plumbers in to do the bathroom and things like that, and the sort of the really critical stuff, i.e. gas, electric, you're getting specialists in. Yeah. But I know you're doing a lot of the stuff you can do, such as painting, decorating, and sort of the manual stuff.
Yeah.
So why do you do that as opposed to getting contractors in for the whole job?
I think when you're starting out, it's a really good idea to learn the whole business.
Yeah.
For me at the moment, the cost saving outweighed how much I would make by utilising my skill set elsewhere.
Okay.
But in future, I'm looking to outsource a lot more of the work as we expand and take on more projects.
One of the things as an investor is your time's quite valuable. So when it comes to buying, particularly buy refurb, it makes way more sense that you outsource the work, okay? Because then you can spend your time focusing on the money generating tasks, i.e. finding more deals either for sourcing or for yourself. Whereas if you're spending 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, even 10 weeks refurbing a property, that's 10 weeks you're missing out on actually out finding deals that you can sell onto investors and get paid thousands and thousands of pounds in the meantime. But I know you like to the reason you're doing this is because you want to learn the skills. So the reason you want to learn the skills is so builders don't rip you off. So you know exactly what they can and cannot charge for, and going forward you do plan to get obviously builders in to do the work, which is a great move. But I think it's great that you're doing the work because you learn the skills.
Yeah, I mean I think the first few I've done myself, the cosmetic work particularly, and now I'm already outsourcing more of the structural work, the plumbing, the electrics, and we'll do more so in the future.
Alright, let's go and have a little look. This is the front room. Is this going to stay as the front room, or are you going to make it into are you going to partition it off, make it into a bedroom of some description, or are you going to...
No, so this one will stay. So this can only be a single residence.
Okay.
It's a C4 in the area. It won't get permission.
Right,
there's one quite close to it. So this will just stay as a nice big
open plan sort of front room. It's going to be huge.
Yeah.
Oh, let's take a look around. Do you know what I love about this property? Really high ceilings, like really high ceilings.
Yeah, the original features are beautiful.
What are we going to do in here? Is this just going to be a storage unit or something in there? Or is it a downstairs toilet? Or?
I had discussed whether we put in a downstairs toilet, but I've spoken to a couple of estate agents, and we think the uplift in value is not worth it for the cost of putting it in.
Really? Because you could literally board it, and you could have a complete downstairs WC in there. I'm sure. I thought that wouldn't cost a lot of money. You're talking a couple of grand. And I'm sure that would
Yeah,
I mean, locally experts say
like
no.
it, but
I think
I asked the questions, and I think the time difference and the extra work.
Maybe if we were in a market that was struggling, properties were struggling to sell, you would do that because it'd make it more appealing to people to buy.
Yeah.
But at the minute, the property market's booming. I don't think you're going to struggle to sell it.
No.
If you were to sell it, so then again, it could be deemed as a waste of money.
The main thing was to have the upstairs bathroom, because around here a lot of the bathrooms are still downstairs where they're Victorian, so they said having that as the main selling point and the third bedroom as well.
Awesome. Alright, let's go to the kitchen. I like this. That's a bit...
Yeah.
It's a bit retro.
It's not quite finished yet. It's
I know.
Like today, but
so listen, guys. It's not finished yet. Don't worry. This is a work in progress. All right. No judgment. No, who cares?
Oh, that's cool.
So you've done the kitchen.
Yeah.
You've put the kitchen in. You've done it yourself.
Yeah. So some of it is new doors and new frontages, all new worktops, and some of it is new units as well.
And you put the kitchen in?
I put the kitchen in. Yeah. A friend actually came down to help me for a few days.
So done the cut out and things like that. So you've done all the tiling, you've done all the units, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously you've got specialists in to do the electrics, but you've done all the manual sort of.
Massey from your academy is helping me with the electrics, so the network is working.
So he's utilising some of the business academy members to come down and help him. So one of our academy members is Matty, and he owns an electrical firm in London, and he's popped down to Portsmouth to do your electrics for you. That's great. Banging. Okay, great. Okay, let's go upstairs and have a look upstairs. What colour are you going for? Are you going to? Because I noticed you've obviously primed a lot of the woodwork. So what we?
So similar to the grey that's on the front door, when that's had another coat.
Yeah.
I think eggshell, kind of dark grey colour, which I like. Not on all of it.
Yeah.
On the feature kind of woodwork. The staircase.
So we're going to go with like grey woodwork, white walls, or?
Yeah, maybe a feature wall on the back there.
Okay.
But we're seeing.
I like this window.
It's lovely. It just needs that.
Could you get some?
Yeah.
Could you make that sort of like not a stained glass effect, but you could do something really nice with that.
Yeah, you could. I mean, I think that will come off okay with a knife and maybe a heat gun, but potentially it could be stained or just frosted, something like that. But yeah, that's why we kept it.
All right, let's take a look. What's up here?
So this was one. Yeah, that's just gone on. So.
Slide door. Okay, so we've got the bathroom.
So this has been one of the biggest amount of work, because this was one huge bathroom before.
Right, so you put studs up?
Yeah, they sacrificed a bedroom basically to create a bathroom, and we've put it back to a 3-bedroom and a bathroom.
Okay, so this is going to be a bedroom?
Yeah, a bedroom / office, so it would be a child's bedroom.
I was going to say it's a very small bedroom. Single bedroom, and then you've got 2 bedrooms over there?
Yeah.
2 bedrooms over there. And... Okay, so this is going to be a small, very much single bedroom or office. And then you've got the bathroom here, which is alright, so good. Stunning, fresh plaster, it's all good. Single bedroom, office. It's probably more likely to be an office than anything, I would have thought, as people move in. I like the sort of dark grout you've gone for.
Yeah, I just tried to make it more interesting.
Stands out, doesn't it?
Kind of matte black taps and shower screen features, things like that. Yeah.
It stands out a little bit. So I think when it's finished, the colouring, because all my properties are grey woodwork, so it's called smoke and mirrors grey. It's just the standard grey I use, and then white. Skirting board, all woodwork's grey, all doors are grey, everything else is white, and it just pops. It really does pop. High ceilings. Look, I'm like 4'2". Okay, and I'm like 5'7", 5'8", and I've still. You get 2 of me in here. Like these really high ceilings. I love that. I'm assuming this is the main bedroom.
Yeah, this is the master.
Master bedroom.
Yeah, nice.
Huge bedroom. Did you ever think about putting an ensuite in here or anything like that?
Again, if it was going to be a HMO, absolutely. But for what it is, it's not necessarily worth the uplift.
Yeah, it's fine.
For this particular area, it's Fratton's okay, it's central, it's nice, but it's not the best area in Portsmouth.
Yeah,
if it was in Southsea, just a little bit further south, then it would be worth the uplift in value, absolutely.
Awesome, great job. All the windows were alright, they're all double glazed, there's nothing to happen.
Yeah, we might remove the LED light on there.
Yeah, it's got LED, it's got the, I don't know if you can see that, Catan. It's got the LED on the outside. That was quite popular back in the day, but Not now. Okay, so what I'm assuming in this room you're just going to paint it, do the doors, do all the woodwork, and then just carpets. Are you doing carpets or laminate, or what are you doing upstairs?
Carpets upstairs, maybe the lounge as well, just 'cause it's a big space.
Yeah.
I like wood floors, but carpets save a lot of time just getting something
100%. Also with carpets, think about noise effect, okay? So I was in a property last week in Liverpool, and it's 4 stories, and all the rooms on all the floors are all laminate flooring, and it's just noisy. It creates noise, because carpet dampens down noise, and it's great for think about the tenants. Like if you're living in a room and you've got somebody above you and it's wooden floor, banging all the time, think about tenants. And also carpets are much easier. The floors don't have to be 100% perfect. Yeah. If you put laminate down, you feel every single little bump and groove. Not that you would not do that, you have to tidy up obviously. But I've had it before in one of my properties where the builders put a load of laminate flooring downstairs, and you could feel where they hadn't cleaned or prepped the floorboards properly. So they put the underlay down, but there was bits of the floor that had a little bit of plaster dried down there, and they hadn't scraped it. So I come in and I walked over the floor, and you feel it pivot. So I'm like, get that up and do it properly. And it's a job, and it comes back to not doing it properly in the first place, but that was the builder's fault. But my point being, carpets, I would all the time, carpets in the bedrooms, carpet in the lounge, and carpets in the upstairs hallway. Downstairs, you want as much laminate as possible, because that's where obviously people walk in.
Yeah, it is preferred. It's just whether it's a time saving or not to do carpet.
So let's go back downstairs then.
Did we go in the
Oh no, we didn't actually. Let's have a look in here. Okay, so what's been going on here? It's got huge skirting boards. What's all that?
Yeah, so they're already here. So it's whether that obviously they've taken out the chimney breasts.
Yeah, I was going to say something's gone
and left it in a mess.
Yeah.
So the plasterwork's not even great.
Yeah.
I suppose we need to decide whether it's worth our while to reskim that or just to add new skirtings and decorate.
Problem is, if you're going to add skirting boards over there, it's going to look a bit of a mess.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, you know what you're doing. All right, great, good job. Now, talk to me about the numbers of this property. You bought it for how much? 170, wasn't it?
170.
170. What's the end value going to be?
If we say 260.
260. So there's straight away there's a 80 to 90,000 pound uplift.
Yeah.
How much have you had to spend on it, or how much do you project that your overall costs are going to be?
It's only going to be about 10 because we've done so much of the work ourselves.
Okay, but that's not factoring in what you want. So that's not factoring in labour cost. So you're spent about 10,000 because you're doing the work yourself, but you're not obviously paying yourself an hourly rate. If you were to get a contractor in to do this, how much do you think it would have cost?
I'd imagine 20 for the house.
Okay, 20 for the whole house. Okay.
Thereabouts.
So 10 to 15,000 pounds for you to do it, because whenever somebody says 10 grand, I always know it's going to be more. So 10 to 15,000 pounds for you to do the work. End value is going to be around 260. You've got multiple exits on the deal. Overall, it seems a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
Timescales. Talk to me about how long it's going to take you.
So this one is about a 6-month turnaround.
Okay.
It's maybe even slightly longer because I've had another project we flipped at the start, so they were overrunning.
Yeah.
And that's the problem. If I had a lot more help,
Yeah.
I can move much more quickly.
Okay, great. So how did you fund this deal? You bought it for 170. How did you fund it?
So I've got a loan from family for this one.
Right.
So it's funded entirely from investors. The last house was the same. We proved we could pay that back entirely by remortgaging the house, which is why it's now been extended to another deal.
Awesome.
And we're discussing how the interest is paid back on that now.
Yeah. Great. Okay, so overall, actually, it's a pretty decent deal. It looks like it's going to be a good deal. I hopefully, when it's finished, hopefully before tenants move in, we'll get a chance to come down and see the final product. If not, I'm sure you can go ahead and you can follow Ben on social media, and no doubt he'll be posting the pictures of the final product. Make sure you check that out. Make sure you check out Ben. Make sure you follow Ben. Listen, this is a great deal. Buy for 170, end value 260. Total investment with all the refurb, and that's going to be around 20k with legal fees, stamp, etc., etc. I mean 25k. Anyway, there's still a healthy profit to be had. The buy, refurbish, refinance model works, okay? Ben's business is buy, refurbish, refinance and service accommodation. And I'm helping him grow them businesses to 6 figures and beyond. He's part of my training, he's part of my business academy. Listen, what do you think of the business academy? What's it done for you?
It's been fantastic so far. Obviously, we've all got the opportunity to sell deals with yourself.
Yeah.
We've all learnt a lot. It's been great training, and just through networking as well. Obviously, with Mate helping out on electric,
of course,
like
yeah.
that. So, yeah.
Well, one of the things I focus massively on is the business behind the business. So I'm not teaching Ben how to find, buy, refurb, refinance. What I'm doing is I'm teaching Ben how to make it a business, how to systemize it and scale it as a business. And all too often I speak to property investors that are so focused on how do you find a deal. But the reality is, even if they do find a deal, they won't know how to make money from it because they have no business in the background. So I focus on building business. That's what I'm doing, that's what I specialize in. And if you want to learn how you can build your business, make sure you get booked onto the Business Launchpad. At the Business Launchpad, you're going to learn the 5 pillars of business. This is the 5 pillars of success. Don't miss out. If you want to be my next success student, make sure you attend. Ben, if you had to say to anybody, and if you had to give anybody one bit of advice, what would that be?
Just go along, see what it's all about, and sign up. And multiple people have already made 100% return on investment. So it's a no-brainer.
Okay, so that's about my training. That's great. But if you had to give anyone a bit of advice about your journey, so you've been through business, you've been through property, you're full time in business, full time in property.
Yeah.
So if you had to give any of my listeners any advice on something you've had to overcome, something you know they're probably going to be facing, what would that bit of advice be? Motivate them.
Just take action. I know so many people that say they're interested in property, they want to do deals, they want to do this, but when it comes to it, they never quite take the plunge. They never go for it. So when you see that property, that deal, you have that offer of finance, you speak to someone who's interested, actually take the offer and go for it. Yeah. Otherwise you won't get anywhere. Without real action, you can't do anything.
How can they get in touch with you?
The best way is probably through my social medias, so Instagram, Facebook. Just drop me a direct message on there. And
what's your handle? What's your Instagram handle?
Ben Rumour Property. So Ben
Rumour
Property. Yeah.
Awesome. We'll put that in the description below. Make sure you go and connect with him. Watch out, because this deal's going to be amazing, and he's going to document it, and you're going to see the end finish very, very soon. Oh, while we're here, I thought, Ben's been in property for 6 years. He's got he's got £1 million plus property portfolio. Is that correct?
Just over 2 million.
Yeah. Just over 2 million. So look what I know. Just over 2 million quid property portfolio, and he's now full time in property. So I'm guessing over that time of 6 years, you've had to deal with some problems as a property investor. Have you got any sort of stories you can remind us of?
So I've got one right at the moment actually, but in the past, I've had. Usually I give tenants a lot of respect. I maintain the houses, I look after them. Everyone deserves a nice home.
Yeah, of course.
So they're obviously referred to a high standard. But I have had people I had someone leave and left the house in a complete state. I had to go in, I spent 3 weeks of my own time refurbing it. Yeah. The cost of the carpets alone to be replaced was more than a deposit.
Yeah, so you're not getting that back.
Not exactly protected.
You see, the thing is, all too often people talk about property, but they only ever tell you the upside. They tell you how much money they're making, they tell you how great it is. The reality is, I've got multiple properties, and let me tell you something, I've got 2 properties at the minute that I'm evicting all of the tenants because they never pay their rents on time. So that's 2 full HMOs that I'm section 21 in every single tenant because I'm sick and tired of them not paying their rent. And what I'm doing is I'm emptying both them properties, and I'm going to be giving them to a charity so they can run them, and that charity is just going to pay me a minimal amount so they can have that property. But it takes the headache away from me having to chase my tenants all the time, okay? So property, although is very great, it's brilliant, I love it, okay? It does come with its downside, and it does come with its problems. You, as somebody that's been doing this 6 years, have experienced your fair share. Yeah. Now, talk to me about some of the problems you've had. I know you've had somebody left, they abandoned the property, they only paid a minimal deposit, that doesn't cover the damage, but any other horror stories you can tell me about?
Most of these things. So I've had, for example, 2 boilers go down within a period of 2 weeks. Yeah. And completely wipe out profit for the next 6 months.
I've had that, mate.
Yeah,
normally
like
happens
that.
at the worst time as well. It's always obviously come Christmas time or the winter, that everyone starts cranking all the heatings up. So that's when all the problems start happening. I had this happen like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
December, January. Boiler went, and it's like one after the other, and it's just big bills. What else?
Well, that one, it's like, especially that was in tax month, so you've got double bills, you've got tax, you've got boilers, but then there's EICR, so the legislation changes, we had to get electrical reports, a lot of new consumer units, so you're talking £500 each per property on numerous properties. So a lot of money, so that's why we charge the best rent we can for the tenants. Yeah. But obviously it's a business, you have to make it work. We can't just own the properties for fun.
Of course, we're a business money. So when you collect rent every month, I mean, how much do you collect in rent on a monthly basis across the portfolio? Just roughly, does that be exact?
I think it's around 5,000.
Okay, and how much of that are you putting aside for maintenance and these sort of issues that you're facing?
Typically 10%.
So typically £500 a month then.
Yeah.
So over the year, £6,000 a month. So my question is that enough? Because if you've got a multi-million pound property portfolio, is £6,000 enough to cover the maintenance across them properties?
Not if every boiler goes down, it's not, and not if you have to have a new fuse board in every property.
Yeah. Now obviously that's a rarity.
Yeah.
Talk to me about the typical monthly maintenance, say on a standard buy-to-let that you've got.
Okay, so for example, just last month we had a leaking pipe under the bath in a flat.
Yeah.
It went through to the flat underneath.
Yeah.
We've had to have someone go in there. They said they thought the pipework was a mess, and they replaced it all £300 off of our rent to do. So it's good. I'm happy for the letting agent to help organise that, and we want it all done as quickly as possible and as least hassle to the tenant as possible.
Yeah, of course.
You do pay through the nose to have that service.
Yeah, you do. You pay management and then you pay the maintenance. But yeah, I think 10% is a fair amount because obviously changing boilers in property is a boiler should last 10 to 15 years. Okay. Yeah. So it's not something that happens on a regular basis. Now, one of my good friends, a guy called Scott, he's from Australia. He's got multiple properties. He always says you make your money when you buy property, not when you sell it. By buying in the right area and buying the right product. And what he means by that is making sure that you don't buy a complete melon. Like you buy a decent property with a decent boiler, with decent electricals, and then when you refurb it to a high standard so that the maintenance issues down the line don't happen. And what I mean by that is you're not having to replace boilers 6 months after you've bought a house. Yeah. You do it right at the beginning so that when tenants move in, it's just minimal maintenance. Yeah. A door handle's loose, or we've got a leaky tap, or a floorboard's loose, or whatever. Minimal maintenance. Now, do you have any current problems at the minute that you're facing right now? Any deals that you've got, any tenants you've got? Because let me tell you something, the biggest problem in this business is not the properties, it's the tenants. Understand that. The biggest problem is the tenants, because when you deal with people, you deal with all manner of emotions, bullshit, issues, lies, manipulation, you deal with all sorts. And I can tell you now, if I didn't have to deal with tenants, my property business would be my absolute favourite business. However, because I have to deal with tenants, it makes it something I'm not particularly an enjoyable business, okay? So come on, talk to me about any current problems you have right now.
So actually, just last week, so my letting agent called me and said, I need to speak to you about St Mary's Road, which is a house just around the corner from here. Apparently, the tenants said they gave their notice a month ago through email.
Alright, okay, they're all infamous, nobody saw it, okay.
So, I mean, that's fine. They've always paid their rent on time. Right. I have no complaints at all with this tenant. They moved into a newly refurbished house, new boiler, new carpets, everything. Stunning house. And they've said they need to leave as soon as possible. One of them's lost their job. They can't really afford the house. They want to move on. And we said that's fine. And the agreement was they'd leave their deposit as the last month's rent instead of having to pay that.
Yeah.
I've just gone in, seen the house. It looks at a first glance like there's a lot of stuff being left in there. It will need a house clearance. It will need at least a deep clean, if not more. So I'm now left with what to do with this property.
So you've got a property which previously, how much were they paying in rent?
985. So that's quite good for that area.
Very affordable for that area. They've left the property in a little bit of a mess. It's not ridiculous, a little bit of a mess. And you're now in a situation that you've got to now put money into that deal to then make it profitable again.
Yeah, basically the deposit which they've left it's only you're only allowed to charge 5 weeks, so that's only enough to cover their rent and not the clearance of the house and any work that needs to be done as well. So I'm just stuck a little bit out of pocket.
Where is that? Is it near here?
Yeah, it's only about a 5-minute drive.
Can we go and see it?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I've got
Do you guys want to go and see it? I think we should go and see it. Let's go and see this house and let's see what they've done. Let's see what they've left, and let's find out if we can actually do something to make Ben more profit from that deal, because I think there's a better way to do this. Let's go and have a look and let's catch up in a bit. Okay, so we've had a look around. Unfortunately, the tenants have sort of abandoned ship. And we're not here to bash the tenants because they were good tenants, were they not?
They always paid their rent on time. They've been here nearly 2 years. So
paid the rent on time. They just got to a bit of a stalemate in their life and they needed to abandon ship. Unfortunately, as the owner of the property, you're left with a bit of a mess to clear up. You've seen the footage. There's a little bit of a mess to clear up. It's not the worst. I've seen a lot worse. But there's a little bit of maintenance issues that's happened. There's drawings on the walls. There's damage throughout. The bathroom, for instance, has got a lot of mould in the shower unit where they've not been cleaning it, and the windows haven't been open, so that needs addressing. You've got a little bit of black mould all around the silicone. That all needs re-siliconing. Upstairs, they've put a carpet down where they shouldn't. There was a laminate floor there. That was a bit weird, wasn't it? Yeah. So there's lots of little things need sorting out, and realistically, I think 2 to 3 days. Couple of people in here just cracking on, paint and decorate the whole place top to bottom, carpets where you've got to carpet, replace what you've got to replace, fix what you've got to fix. Certainly in the kit, it needs a good clean as well.
Yeah.
It's minging, isn't it?
Yeah. It's been left. Well, I've rented in the past. I've always cleaned everything, left it immaculate.
Yeah.
When you move out, that's the condition. And unfortunately, we've treated our tenants we've given them a lovely property. It came nice and clean and refurbished, and it's been left in a state with a lot of things dumped around and just a mess, as you say.
So what's the plan? What do you want to do with this going forward? Because obviously you can't rent it out like this. So what do you want to do going forward?
So obviously I'm going to do the work. I'd never think of reletting it to a family in this state.
Yeah.
So I'll get it redecorated, a deep clean, probably take everything to the tip, and then.
The thing is, it's in a great location. It's really good location. It's got parking space at the back. There is ways that you could, using your knowledge, using my knowledge, you do service accommodation.
I do, yeah.
So you could perhaps run this, because you're the owner, so you own the freehold.
Yeah.
So it's not like a flat that you have to worry about lease problems. You could run this as service accommodation. Now, do you think this would work as service accommodation?
I suppose it would. And my other service accommodations are usually in Southsea, but this is more of a central area, so you're getting business people, you still appeals to the tourist crowd. It's quite a quaint house at the front. It's got a cottagey look, so it might appeal to people. Yeah.
Well, look, why don't we do this, right? I want to help you. I want to help you make as much money from this deal as possible. And if you're prepared to do the work, get the property all up and running, in the sense of decorate it, clean it, get it ready, and if you're prepared to furnish it, and if you're prepared to get it to a situation where an investor could literally walk in, take the keys, and then take the profit from it on a monthly basis, but they're going to pay you a big fat fee, would you be up for that?
Absolutely. I mean, I've staged lots of properties before.
Staging,
just up my street. I love it. Yeah.
And that way, you're getting a fixed rent every month from an investor. So that'll be the exact same as what you're getting at the minute. So you'll probably actually make more money. You know the score with service accommodation.
Yeah.
So why don't we do that? Why don't we see if one of our investors want to take this property on, run it as service accommodation, but yet you get it ready, you stage it, you manage it, you get paid a big fat sourcing fee.
Yeah.
You make a big chunk of money at the beginning, plus you're getting your rent paid. An investor's happy because they're getting their profit from it. Everyone wins. So should we try and stick it out and see what happens?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, we've got a plan. Now the plan is this. We're going to send this deal, this property, out to my investors database. You're one of my Academy members. So my promise to you is that you're going to make 100% of your investment into my Academy back through selling to my investors. Let's see if we can make that happen today. Oh, okay, so we're just getting this deal ready to send out to the investors. All I'm doing is I'm typing up a quick email and I'm sending that to my full database. And this is a rent-to-rent, hands-free opportunity in Portsmouth. I think it will sell very quickly. And Ben is going to be the one that makes all the money from this deal. Because Ben joined my academy and I've said he can get 100% ROI from his investment in the training. Let's wait and see what happens. The email is on its way out. Let's just wait and see what happens. Watch your space, keep watching. Alright, so you saw earlier, we were at one of Ben's properties. The property was a little bit tired because tenants had just left with it in a bit of a state. And we left the conversation as we're going to speak to some investors and we're going to see if somebody wants to do that as a service accommodation. So what happened, Ben? Come on, tell them what happened.
Yeah, so we've packaged a deal, we've looked at the numbers, it's a perfect place for an SA.
Absolutely.
As put it out to a list on his sourcing company, and we've got a deal.
So what happened? Like, I sent an email out, and what happened? Like, we suddenly started getting people ringing up, people texting. We had people I know texting me, people I don't know texting me. Christ, we even got a phone call from South Africa. Somebody in South Africa wanted his deal. It's crazy. What happened, Ben?
Yeah, it's more than I expected. We had numerous people phoning, texting. We had our pick of investors, basically, to choose from.
And we've got the footage of you on the phone. You jumped on the phone to one of the investors and you sold it. Who was the investor? What's his name? Not his full name, just his first name.
So his first name's Neil.
And Neil, talk to me about Neil. You spoke to him on the phone briefly. Talk to me about Neil.
Yeah, very keen on the deal. Wants to invest in service accommodation.
Yeah.
It's obviously a great area. The figures will stack up. So, I mean, I have service accommodation locally, so I know it's a good deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really,
and
really
you told Neil that you would send him T's and C's and the invoice. You sent him terms and conditions and the invoice. And has he paid?
He's just paid. He's paid and I've just got the money into my account.
So money in your bank. How much money?
8,750.
8,750. £8,750. Cha-ching. Okay. Now what that money will provide for Neil is the deal. You're going to furnish it. You're going to dress it. You're going to make it absolutely amazing. So when Neil comes down to view it, it's going to be wow. And then that's ready to hand to the management company. So Neil can be a completely hands-off investor.
Yeah, so we're going to redecorate the house.
Yeah.
We're going to present it as a fully complete service accommodation, everything from the furnishings to the staging to the cutlery in the drawers, and then we're going to provide him with a manager as well.
And you're going to do all of that in the next couple of weeks, so he's ready to take that deal from the 1st of May.
Yeah, absolutely.
How do you feel right now?
Amazing. Yeah, can't wait to get started.
Oh yeah, you're champing at the bit to get going. Yeah. Now the thing is, this morning, I came to Portsmouth to have 2 one-to-one sessions today. A lady called Kim, and Kim is actually today organised and scheduled her first ever networking event. Now what I mean is she's going to be doing a networking event for women in business, and that's happening on May the 19th. And if you want to watch that, and if you want to attend that, link is right down below. Go and get registered. So Kim today is organised. Actually, Kim, come here. Kim, come here. Let's jump in here, Kim. Come on. Today's been a pretty awesome day. So this is Kim, everybody. And Kim, come on, tell them what you've done today.
His suggestion, I need to put myself out there. 21 years in business, and it would have been great to have women come alongside me when I was struggling. So I'm actually going to set up my first networking on May the 19th here in Southsea. Venue to be announced. I'm really excited to see who's going to come along. And how I can support women with the knowledge I've got. Yeah, it's going to be good. Let
me ask you a question. If they're watching this right now, who should come to that event? If we've got women watching this right now and they're thinking, should I go to Kim's networking event, who should come?
If you're in your 9 to 5, but it's actually 7 till 7 and you want to get out of the rat race, come to that event. that you may just pick up that nugget that will free you up. If you've been in business for years, come to the event because you've got the old school that you can impart into other people. What we want to do is encourage women to really get out there and thrive. So it's open to everybody.
Of course, and listen, there's no agenda to this networking event apart from it's women in business, networking, collaborating, sharing ideas, sharing knowledge, and just getting together and being around other women who want to succeed. Make sure you're there. The link is below. Get registered. If I was allowed, I'd be there, but I'm not sure if I'm allowed. So it's for women only. No, it's not. Everyone is welcome, but it's aimed at women in business, okay? Absolutely. Be there, 19th of May. Today, a one-to-one with Ben, and guess what? He made £8,750. Massive success today. They're both my Business Academy members, and they're both gonna kick butt in business, property, and in life. Why are you not here? Why are you missing out? Because let me tell you something. Ben, how much money have you made today?
£8,750.
Okay, now that's not all profit. Of course it's not. There's costs to come off that. But still, you're going to make several £1,000s in one day. That's a lot of money to make in one day by sending an email. Kim is going to be doing amazing things. Kim's already got a property portfolio that's making a lot of money. She's reinvesting that. She's going to start this networking event because Kim's mission and passion is to help serve people and women in particular. And she's set the first stepping stone for that today. We're doing massive things, guys. Massive things. You're watching this at home thinking, I need to be this side of the camera? Then get yourself booked onto the Business Launchpad. There's no messing about. I don't mess about. I don't dick about. I'm straight to the point. There's no other trainer in the country will do what I'm doing because they can't. It's that simple. Get yourself the Business Launchpad, live and virtual. If you want to come along, the link is down below. See you there.